All right, let's give some tips and talk about delivering a presentation based on your projects. First, you'll want to identify the audience in your venue. So if you're looking at the audience being stakeholders, these are people like study participants, funding sources, and agency staff and volunteers. Or you can look at your audience as a scientific or academic audience. This would include college classes, professional conferences, and thesis or dissertation committee presentations. When we think about scientific research presentations, we want to think about a formal and informal types of presentations. The informal would be a poster session where you have a poster, you're with your poster, and you discuss your project with people that are passing by and viewing it. A formal is more like a thesis or dissertation oral defense where you have a presentation ready to go and you're in front of an audience and you're presenting very technical details from beginning to end. So you'll have an introduction, the meat of the presentation, as I like to say, and then a conclusion. Scientific presentations often use peer review. This is a preliminary review that ensures the quality of the information to be presented. They want to make sure you're presenting accurate information. A panel of experts sometimes review your abstract, which is a very summarized version of what you'll be discussing in your presentation. Often, it's a blind review where reviewers do not know the identity of the presenter or presenters, so there could be less bias in this regard. Next, you want to come up with some visual aids. And these again are to supplement your written or spoken information. They are not to replace it. They help to facilitate understanding very quickly. You want to spend time making them relevant and readable. So you want to think about not only what you're putting on there, but how it looks as well. Think about things like contrast and alignment and things of that nature. Tables and figures and stuff are not usually used in stand-up presentations, or they're used a lot less. In general, you want to make sure the focus is on you, the presenter, not the table or figure behind you or on the board. When planning the presentation, you need to think about what you might do with handouts. So if you have handouts, think about, do you pass them out prior to your presentation, after your presentation, or do you have them sign up and send them later via email? So you want to think about this. If you give them prior to their presentation, they may have the opportunity to read a little bit and better understand your presentation as you're giving it. But it also may be a distraction as you present. People are flipping through the pages. After the presentation, people aren't flipping through the pages and being a distraction, but then they may have missed opportunities to better understand the material as you present them. Signing up for an email to get the presentation at a later date or to get your handout at a later date is often the best as far as conserving paper, right? So you're using a lot less paper if you send it to them via email. However, again, you'll miss out on some other aspects if you want them to be able to see things right there in front of them, or if you want them to understand a little bit more in depth as you go.